No, right. Oh, man. Let me just check to see if the audio levels are good and we sound good and everything. Just give me a second. Alright. Everything sounds good, everything looks good. Alrighty, man. Whew. Took a little hiatus there for a minute. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter, Dark Optimist. That's where I post all my gaming shenanigans. And yeah, sorry about that, everyone. If you guys were expecting a stream on Saturday and Monday, it was my birthday on Monday, so had some things going on. Things happen. But yeah, I don't typically usually do that. Hopefully in the future we won't have that happen again anytime soon. So, but yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into the game. Let's get started because we got some stuff to talk about tonight too. Because we had some showcases over the course of the time that we were off. So let's beat up these people. Yeah, we had some interesting showcases, I will say that. We'll start with the Summer Games Fest. Summer Games Fest was it was good. It wasn't great though, so it's just kind of like I felt like on it, which is completely makes sense. Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta unplug something. Sorry about that. But yeah, that showcase was okay. There were some decent things that I saw that I was all like, definitely want to play that. We actually got to see more Alan Wake, and got to see more of got to get the release date of Spider-Man, which was cool. Definitely excited for that. I mean, we got some pretty good stuff. I mean, there was some good stuff. Wasn't anything too bad. Here we go. Yeah, it was a good show. It wasn't a great show, but it was a good show. I can't jump over that stuff, huh? That's right, I can't really jump in this game. It's kind of more grounded that way. But I definitely felt like there was a lot of things that I felt like, oh man, this could have been, just a tweet or something like that, But it wasn't a bad show. It was a decent thing. There really wasn't like much that I saw that was new that I was all like, yeah, I definitely want to play that, or most of the stuff we already knew it was coming. We did get an announcement of Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown, I think it's called, or the Kingdom of the Lost Crown, or something like that. I can't remember the name of it at this moment, but that was kind of cool. I was like, ooh, that might be good. We did see more of it at the Ubisoft Forward conference. But yeah, let's get into the actual real the real conference, the one that really matters, which was the it was the Microsoft conference. And I gotta say, Microsoft had a really good conference, to be honest. I gave it an 8 out of 10. There was a lot of things that I felt like just didn't really need to be there too. There was a few things. There was just a few things that I felt like that didn't need to be in it, but like the Series S getting a new hard drive, 1 terabyte hard drive. I thought that didn't need to be there. I felt like there was another thing that was there that I was like, I wasn't too fond on. But overall, the conference was really good. Like as in terms of games and stuff, there was some hope that I was going to see more of Fable than we did. Granted, we did see some of it, which was good to see. It looks like it's rearing on its way to being finished, so that's a good thing. But I was definitely I was a little disappointed by that. I think that's why I gave it an 8, because I was just a little disappointed by not seeing so much stuff from Fable. Also not seeing enough from Hellblade. I know people are saying, well, it's not the game's time to shine and stuff like that. I get that. I get it. It's not its time to shine. I don't know. I would rather have seen, some combat and stuff like that. Especially with Hellblade, because I wasn't too much of a fan of the first one. Even though PlayStation gamers praised that game as if it was like the second coming of Christ, like, oh my gosh, this dude's kicking my butt, dude. And it really wasn't one of those types of it just really wasn't one of those types of games. But it was, it was decent enough for me to be like, okay, maybe they could do something with a sequel here. We just didn't see much from it, and that was disappointing. It was just disappointing. It wasn't anything that to be mad about or anything like that. It was just disappointing not to see it, kind of shine. And I know. A couple of my buddies were like, well, it's not its time to shine, and I was like, I get that, dude, but I still want to see it. I still want to see the actual combat. Before I even invest in playing, and that's the thing, we saw a lot of good things though too. We saw a lot of we saw some third-party stuff that I was excited for, like Jusant, and then there was another game that I was really looking forward to. Oh, Dungeons of Hinterberg. That looked good. Oh man, getting beat up now. And then we got a glimpse of Star Wars Outlaws, which was, fantastic. That looked good. I mean, it was just a CGI trailer, but it still was just like, it was still cool. I was like, sweet, we're gonna get to see some stuff, and then at the end they said that at the Ubisoft Forward they're gonna, mention, more on that game. So I was like, sweet, I gotta watch the Ubisoft Forward, which I also did that as well. But then we got Persona 3 Reloaded, which is multi-plat. Avowed looked really good. Honestly, I think Avowed looked, you know, pretty pristine looking gameplay and stuff. Um, made me kind of excited to see where they take that. Because it's from the creators of Pillars of Eternity, and it's set in that Pillars of Eternity world. So that got me excited. There was another one, Path of the Goddess, which looked absolutely fantastic. That's a new Capcom game. That's third party. That looked great. Still Wakes the Deep looked really good. And then the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC, which is coming out in September. September 26th, 2023. That looked really good. Oh man, I can't wait for that. We actually got to see more of that yesterday at their extended showcase, which was awesome. I wanted to see that. Even though I felt like the extended showcase was boring, I kind of did fall asleep throughout it. But I was up for the Cyberpunk stuff, which was good. But that's the thing. It might have been boring, but it was still kind of more of a deep dive into some of the games that they showed off and stuff. So that was good. And then you got Metaphor Fantagio. Looked really good. Same creators of Persona 3, 4, and 5. So that's awesome. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be awesome. I love the Persona series, so that's definitely a day one cop for me. And then Clockwork Revolution looked really good. And then we also got at the Summer Games Fest, I forgot to say that we also got Liza P footage, but then we also got a demo that came out, which I also played. Didn't really like that much. Kind of thought it was a little. It wasn't. It didn't feel too great to play. So I was just kind of iffy on it, to be honest with you. But oh yeah, that's right. I have to take the train to get over that way. I think since we're gotta get to the train first. But yeah, it was a good show. They had a good showing. They had a good stuff to show off, which was good. It was a win for Xbox. I definitely give them that. And then they showed off Starfield, which was good for the people who are excited for that. I'm not really excited for Starfield, and I know I get a lot of flack and I get a lot of crap about it because people are like, well, is it because it's an Xbox game? No, it's not because it's an Xbox game. I never liked Fallout. It was just never my thing. I didn't like those games. Except for I did like Skyrim, and I've said this in the past. I like Skyrim. I like the Wolfenstein and Doom and stuff. I also like the first Dishonored. I didn't really like the second one as much. I thought the second one was kind of weak in terms of gameplay and things like that. But I did like Skyrim, of course, things like that. But oh man, these guys beat me up. I didn't even realize where my thing was. I always forget that I need to keep an eye on that. My gauge. Oh dang, that's why these dudes are like freaking. Like way more. way more better than I am. Dang. We'll just give up on that. These dudes are kicking my butt. But yeah, I mean, the showcase was really good. They had a really good, you know, fun stuff in there. Some good, you know, some good things that we saw. Wonder if I can go to like the front here and then maybe just ride the train.
The next stop is Urban Park Station.
Do I have to fight anybody here? I think I can just, you know, ride the train. Because that's what the time is, whatever. I don't think I have to fight anybody, do I? Oh, I do. Okay. Alright, well, that's fun. Dang, man. They're kicking my butt. Well, that's why level 30 on the frickin' train. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. I guess I'm gonna have to do some side stuff and maybe beat some people up here in order to ride the train. Actually, I think I can actually take the bus too, couldn't I? I think there's a bus, Yeah, there we go. Just travel. Take the bus there.
And there you are.
Yeah, it was a fun show though. I think Xbox has some really good games coming. I think Xbox has some fun stuff for gamers and things like that. I will say it was better than the PlayStation showcase, definitely. You know, but it wasn't without its faults either. I know a lot of people are giving it a 10 out of 10. It's mostly Xbox fanboys who are giving it a 10 out of 10,
Hey,
but
you.
I didn't think it was that great, you know. But it was good enough for me to be like, okay, you know, this is cool. But I think the one thing that I think a lot of people are missing is that, yes, granted, Starfield could come out and be great, and Forza Motorsport can come out and be great,
Yeah?
right? Like all these games, these two games can come out and be great this year, right? Still isn't gonna put people in that mode of getting an Xbox, you know. Some people will, yes, and I already have one, so it's not a big deal.
We're here today in Metro City, everyone,
We got cutscene.
where the best rookie fighters have gathered at Mike Hagar Memorial Stadium. We'll be bringing you all the action from the novice, running behind closed doors prior to the official opening of this new facility. Now then. Hey kids and everyone else, it's your fave, Eternity! I know Metro City has always had a penchant for fighting. But just look how fired up these fighters are. I wonder if any of them are up for a chat. The Novice League is all about finding new talent, which means everyone here is a first-timer, right? Doesn't that make you nervous?
No! Nerves are irrelevant. Losing isn't an option.
Okay, I wasn't wrong about them being fired up. Now, like I said, this tournament is behind closed doors, so the seats are kind of lonely. But you're not gonna miss anything if you stay right here on my channel. On BooTube. Stay tuned!
But Yeah, I think it was definitely a good show, you know, and I think the whole thing is what I was saying is that even though Starfield and more Forza Motorsport are pretty much on track to being really great games, I don't think those games are going to still put Xbox in a category of competing, you know, because like my firm belief is that you have to have a consistency of great games, right? And this year they haven't had a consistency of great games. Last year they didn't have a consistency of great games. They didn't have any first party games that came out that were really top notch. They had, you know, maybe one or two, you know, decent you know, they had one or two decent third party, you know, or second party games, but nothing that was significant enough to make them be like, to put them on the map, you know, and make people be like, yes, we gotta, you know.
Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner.
Jeez, man. I'm probably gonna get my butt kicked, aren't I?
They need to find a way out. Got some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Box him with a target combo. Hits with the overhead. Next hit will end the round.
But you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sit here and say that Xbox is gonna fail or anything like that, because that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that if they have a consistency of games that are like, a consistency would be like five games, you know, 5 or 6 games that come out within the year, to make people be like, you know, like if they come out with Starfield, Forza Motorsport, and then the next game comes out and it's phenomenal, and then they have the next game come out and it's like at least up from the I think I need to, you know, do some side stuff here. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get my butt kicked, man. But if they have a consistency of decent games, then yes, I think people will gravitate towards playing on Xbox more. You know, people will start to be like, okay, well, Xbox is having this. What is PlayStation gonna do? You know, and PlayStation is in that spot right now where they don't feel like they need to do anything, because they're in the, you know, they're kind of in that top, you know. Within the time, I'm trying to get a six hit combo. But I think if they start having a consistency of you know, not only first party but also, you know, their second party games where they just, you know, kind of shine, then they're in a good spot. They'll be in a great spot of, you know, winning back gamers that probably were like, I'm never gonna buy an Xbox again. And there will always be those ones that were like, I'll never buy an Xbox, and they'll stick to that. But I think for the most part, there will be people who will want to, you know, see what Xbox has got to offer when it comes to, you know, games and stuff like that, as long as they can stay consistent with, you know, having great games. Now, if Starfield comes out and it's not in that realm, who knows what's going to happen? You know, I'm not saying that they're going to go away or anything, but I don't think that they'll have that same relationship that they have with the gamers as they do with, like they do right now. You know, they have a pretty good rapport with the gamers right now. I just don't know if they'll have that same rapport when if Starfield doesn't, you know, pan out for them. And that'll suck, because I think, you know, Xbox kind of deserves a break. I mean, I know there's a lot of Xbox gamers out there right now that are like, you're insane, you know, kind of thing or whatever. But it's like, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, burst your fun or anything. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to see what Xbox is gonna do when it comes to, you know, games, because right now I think we just need to fight some people, get our level up here. And see why, you know, there will be people who will play, you know, these games, but I'm talking about like a consistency of people playing those games, and people being like, yes, I want to play it. I want to get an Xbox so I can play these games, you know. And that's kind of what PlayStation's been doing for this past, you know, several years. You know, don't let anybody fool you. Yes, those ones who don't like PlayStation's games, they're gonna not like them. You know, because they're I don't know why. I'm not gonna sit here and say why they don't like them, but they just don't like them. Because I don't know. I don't know why they don't like them, but they don't. It's weird, but it is what it is, right? But yeah, I think if they have a consistency of great games, then yeah, they'll be fine. But you know, when they showed off Starfield, I was like, okay, you know, it looks cool. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks cool. It does. I think it'll be a good game, you know, for the Xbox community. But I just don't see people, you know, I don't see a ton of people gravitating towards it. Like, you know, others, like the hardcore fans will, you know, because there will be hardcore fans who will. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. It's confusing. It doesn't tell you. I'm confused as to what I'm supposed to do. Okay. But yeah, I hope that happens. You know, I hope that they have a consistency of great games, and a consistency of just, you know, keeping the gamers engaged and things like that. But we haven't seen it yet. You know, we haven't seen that yet. So I think there's going to be people who, you know, there's always going to be the trolls, you know. There's always going to be the ones who are just going to, you know, troll the crap out of the fanboys and stuff. It's just the nature of the business, but I think as long as Xbox does what it's going to continue to do, which is make, you know, a consistency of great games, then they're on the right track. If they don't, then that's where you're gonna lose a lot of more people, you know. And that's kind of where I think Phil Spencer was trying to say when he was in his interview with Kinda Funny. He was where he was, you know, it's basically saying, like, it doesn't matter if we make great, you know, it doesn't matter if we make great games. He was saying something like that, where, you know, no matter if we make great games, but it does matter if you make great games, Phil. It does. Because then, but it also means a consistency of it. Like, you make great games, yes, you do make good games. There are great games on Xbox that you can't get anywhere else. Halo Infinite, Gears of War 5, you know, just to name a few. But it's not consistent, you know. You know, it's not a consistent making of these games. You're not having a consistency of it. Once you start having a consistency of making great games, then yes, people will gravitate towards the Xbox. But until then, you're just going to have to keep trying to win the mind share of gamers. That's it. And right now, Xbox doesn't really have me at that point, you know, where they're, you know, winning me over on, you know, they won me over on their hardware, because their hardware looks pretty sick, looks pretty sleek. But it's more than just that, you know. It's more, it's the games for me, you know. It's always been about the games, and this generation, they haven't had any games so far this generation that has really pulled me into their ecosystem. You could say Hi-Fi Rush all you want, but Redfall was very much of a disappointment to me, and that sucks because I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to that more than I was for Starfield, and I'm not even looking forward to Starfield at all, you know. So it just sucks to see that they haven't, you know, kind of learned their lessons from last generation yet. Hopefully they will soon. I'm hoping that they will soon. If they don't, then I might just be all out on Xbox and just be like Nintendo Switch and PlayStation all the way, you know. That's just how I kind of look at it. Because, I mean, even though PlayStation doesn't have that many first-party studios this year, you know, they don't have that many first-party games this year. In the past, they've had a consistency of good games, great games. You know, they've had a consistency of that. Yes, they've had some fumbles here and there, like Days Gone and Forspoken and stuff like that. Yes, they've had that, but I'm supposed to do a backward recovery, right? Come on, hit me so I can. There we go. But Xbox really hasn't had that. They haven't had a consistency of great games for, you know, for the most part. They've and I know people make fun of it, but they've most part they've only had Halo, Gears, and Forza. You know, in the past years. This generation, they're starting to have more games. They're starting to have, more some consistency of bringing out their games. They just haven't had a consistency of great games coming out. Last year they did have some games, but they weren't great games. They weren't, critically acclaimed games. Stuff like that. Say what you will, say what you want, but reviews do matter. Reviews do garner a following for these games. Yes, word of mouth does too, but reviews do matter on it. Absolutely matter. They may not matter to you, and they may not matter to me, but they matter to other people. And when other people see, oh, this game has, a 7 out of 10, I'll wait until it goes on sale. Oh, this game has a 9 out of 10, I may have to pick this up as soon as possible. That's the difference. And I think some Xbox gamers are kind of too too in their feels when people say that, because they think that Xbox has great games. Yes, to you, but to a mass market of people who play video games, they don't. Clearly, by the way that the reviews are. And you can say media bias all you want. You can say media bias. I don't think that that's the case. Yes, granted, have I liked some of those games that they've come out with that were critically acclaimed games? Absolutely. I liked Quantum Break. I liked, and I liked Sunset Overdrive. Right? It just came out at a wrong time. To be honest, I really think that game came out at the wrong time, because it was right in the early stages of the Xbox One, and during that time frame, Xbox One was still reeling over the fact of the DRM stuff that they were going through, and telling gamers that they can't trade in their games, basically, and Don Matrix saying, well, if you want a console that that you don't have to be online with, then we have the console for you, Xbox 360, and that was that time frame that they could have just really took the reins, and Phil, much to his credit, turned it around. He did. I will give him that. He turned it around. He made the Xbox One something people would actually want to buy and play, because backwards compatibility, and starting to come out with games that people actually were wanting to play and stuff, and then coming out with Game Pass, and to get some revenue going, because let's face it, consoles don't turn a profit, right? Software does. Well, they weren't selling their software because no one was buying their console, right? Like, no one was buying their console, no one was buying their software. Not saying that no one was. There were people who were buying the console, of course, but not enough people were buying the console or buying the software to garner them to continue down the path that they were going. So it kind of left them in a tight spot. They had to figure it out. Do I think that they figured it out already? That they figured it out now? No. I don't think they figured it out yet, but when they will, and when they do, it'll be interesting and good to see. Just hopefully they figure it out very soon here, because PlayStation doesn't feel like they need to do anything. I mean, not saying that they don't feel like they need to do anything, because they know that they do have to do some things to keep the gamers happy and stuff. But you think God of War would have sold 10 million? Granted, yeah, okay, it's not that much. That's not a lot, in terms of how many gamers play on the PlayStation. That's just fanboy crap that fanboys say, But in reality, that game wouldn't have sold 10 million if it didn't get good reviews, great reviews. If that game didn't get great reviews, then they have no reason to continue to do what they do with that game. Like wear a diaper. I don't think it's a diaper. I think it's a sumo attire. It's funny. It does give me some pretty good defense. That is funny though. I don't know. I don't think I'd put that on now. That looks a little too risque for our streams here. But it is funny. New skills available. Okay. But how do I get to those new skills? Okay. So, alright. But I don't have any SP, so SP skill points. I have skill points. So let's do increase kick strength, increase the number of moves, special moves you can select. Let's increase punch strength for now. But let's switch to... How do I switch over? It's been a while. I forgot how to switch over to the... I'm still figuring this game out. It's been a while since I played it too, because we took some time off, so I'm like still trying to figure things out, which kind of sucks because it's a little confusing. Well, that's special moves, and I can do these moves, but I want to switch the master. I may have to look that up, figure that out.
What are you looking at?
But yeah, it was just I thought the showcase for Xbox was fantastic though. I think that they're gonna have some. I think they're gonna finally have some consistency in having good games, great games. And when I say great games, I mean games that are like hitting that 80 or higher on Metacritic, not hitting that 70 or 60 on, Metacritic. you say what you will, Metacritic does matter to a lot of people. It may not matter to you or me, but it matters. It does matter to a lot of people, and a lot of people will, say their frustrations on there. So, we're kind of in that space of, of that time where Xbox needs to step it up. Well, we can play like other games too. Oh, can only be playing online. Okay. Well, we're not online. We're doing the single player stuff, so it doesn't. So we're not, getting bothered with notifications and stuff. But yeah, I think as long as Xbox starts to do a true consistency of games and things like that, they're going to be fine. But hopefully also PlayStation, sees that and says, okay, well, Xbox is doing this, we need to do this. We need to step our game up, start getting these games out. And of course, I saw an article today where it said that I can't remember who it was at Xbox who came out and said that that games are going to take like 6 years to come out. Honestly, that's fine as long as they don't come out and they're freaking they're freaking come out and they're freaking. That's a lot of freaking. So they come out and they're buggy, and they're a buggy mess and stuff. That's not going to be good. But that's fine. But let's get into the Ubisoft conference, which I watched. Thought it was good. A lot of games that I want to see play were there. Like Prince of Persia. The Lost Crown, I think it's called. Looked good. Looked fantastic. I was all like, sweet, man, this looks great. Avatar. Frontiers of Pandora. Looked fantastic. Gameplay wise and everything. Looks way better than the original game that came out. Granted, that game was a movie tie-in. This one isn't. This one's kind of its own standalone type of experience. So, but it was cool to see it. It was cool to see it, and it's coming out this December, so that's fantastic. And I gotta say, companies, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, no more games. Okay, maybe Nintendo. You can have some games for your for the Switch, but PlayStation, Xbox, no more games. All right, there's just not enough time, not enough room to put in these games and play them all. And that's why I think a lot of people nowadays just pick and choose. Which I have been. I've been really kind of been like, I gotta pick and choose what I play and stuff. But Ubisoft had a fantastic show. They also showed off gameplay for Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws. That looked fantastic. That looks freaking awesome. Can't wait for that. Assassin's Creed Mirage, they showed off gameplay for that. That looks awesome. Can't wait for that. So, I mean, Ubisoft had a really good conference. I think I would give it probably like, as the conference itself, probably like a 6 or 7 on the presentation alone. But the games, on the other hand, that's like a 9 out of 10, man. That was awesome. Seeing all those games, it was a weird presentation. Like they had some weird producer dude come out, and I was just like, dude, you're trying to act like you're cool, but you're really not. So let's just drop it. Like let's just drop whatever you're gonna show. You know, like just drop what you're gonna show, man. Like let's go. You know. Let's see. Is there a? Did I head to Mexico yet? I don't think I did.
Mexico.
The one aspiring to find your path. Then letting go.
Elder Singing Wolf is the pride of our tribe. Around here, he is the most respected of all shamans. Elder, it's Lily. Did you have something to say?
Really, this person is alike.
Hmm? Say what?
We are on an in-get. Read them well.
Evil. Best? Just who are you, really?
I will say Lily's like one of the cooler characters this time. Like one of the new cooler characters. There's actually been several pretty cool new characters in this game. But yeah, Ubisoft had a fantastic show. Like not in terms of presentation or anything, because their presentation was very good. But in terms of games, they had a really good show. Really, really good. A lot of games I want to play and check out and stuff, so that was cool. I also liked I didn't like the Capcom showcase. Let me talk about that right now. The Capcom showcase, I mean, besides Dragon's Dogma, it was okay. You know, it had its moments. I wonder what happens if I beat one of these. I think this will be the first time if I do it here. This is the first time. Wow. But yeah, I think the Capcom showcase was abysmal compared to any of the other showcases that came out. Even Summer Games Fest, I thought it was just even the PlayStation showcase was better than Capcom's. There's just a bunch of games that I just didn't care about, except for Dragon's Dogma 2. It was good to see more of Dragon's Dogma 2. Granted, will that game sell well? I don't know. But that's the thing, like, even if a game, that's the thing, even if a game gets a high score from critics and people and stuff like that, doesn't mean the game's gonna sell well. So like that's, you're always taking a gamble and you're always taking a risk when you're playing, when you're doing, you know, games and stuff. You know, I don't want to get my student. Okay.
I call upon you, great wind. Toino Ikonoi, spirit of the wind. Don't fight it. Let yourself become one with it. Yes, just like that. It looks like the spirits are smiling upon you too. Nicers.
Yeah, but overall, showcases wise, the best one was definitely Xbox. They just had a great showing, you know. Even though Summer Games Fest had, you know, a couple games that I was like, okay, all right, you know. And then they had, you know, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I'm excited for. I can't wait for that. There just wasn't a lot of stuff that I was all like, that looks great. I can't wait to play that. You know, that looks amazing. You know, whatever. There was just wasn't a lot of that. Unlike with Xbox, where I was like, okay, all right, they're stepping their game up. Granted, yes, I have to wait to see if any of those games are going to be good or not. But you know, they're heading in the right direction, which is good. I don't even know how I switch over. I'm gonna see if maybe that does something, maybe? I can go to the world map, okay. Can I get out of here? I don't need to be in this area anymore. Singing wolf. Mumble mumble. Huh. World map. I think I need to talk to Luke. Is he on the... Let's see if he's anywhere during the day, right? Okay. Luke is over here.
No
But yeah, I mean the showcases were good. To be honest, I mean there's some stuff, you know, there was some ones that I was, you know, like the PlayStation 1 where I was harsher on PlayStation. And that's only because you know, I want to see them do more, you know, I want them to do better. They've done good though. They have in these past couple of years. They've done pretty good, as in terms of, you know, games and stuff like that. They have done a decent job with a lot of games and stuff. But I don't know. I just wanted to see. I don't know. I just was expecting more, I think, and I shouldn't have expected that much from them.
I wanted to talk to you.
But I think overall, as the showcases go, like if I was to grade them all as a whole, probably an 8 out of 10. You know, as a whole thing, they were pretty decent. There were some decent ones, there were some bad ones, but there were also, you know, some really good ones too. So the good ones definitely outweighed the bad stuff that they had.
Yo. Hey. Whoa. Basically. Ah, right.
Details. Oh, does it automatically just go to modern controls on? Let me see. What is okay? I'd rather do the classic ones. I didn't know. I didn't know if anybody was wondering. I didn't know, okay? But I also played the Final Fantasy 16 demo. Let's get into that. That was awesome. That freaking demo was awesome, man. That solidified me to be like, yeah, I definitely am going to play. Definitely going to play. Definitely going to be playing Final Fantasy 16. It was absolutely fantastic. And it looked good too, you know? It looks good. It looks good. Become the student of a master. Okay. I know we need to do the novice league, but let's do this instead. Is there a teacher here in the United Kingdom? It's probably Cammy, if anybody. But that freaking game looks and plays really good. And anybody who's sitting here saying it's not strategic, it is pretty. There is some strategy to it. It's not in the realm of, you know, of past you know, games, but it's definitely, there is some strategy to it, especially if you put it on the harder difficulty. you're definitely going to have some strategy to it. But yeah, that demo was pretty sweet. And yes, I know, but it's not running. It says 60 frames per second, but it's not running at 60 frames per second. Oh my gosh, I really wish people would stop with this, because I've talked to other developers, not only just Don. Shout out to him, Don KTR. He's got a YouTube channel called Don Gaming Live. I've talked to him. I've talked to other developers who have told me the same thing he's told me, and that games, when they're being made, they start with the FPS, and they choose that FPS either.
Oh, hey, you're pretty good at this. Anka-chan is a jungle sprite. Just when you think you've got him, he slips away. Here's a tip. If you think like a sprite, you'll move like one too. Now nobody will think Blanca-chan is just me in a suit. I want you to come back and help sometimes, okay? I'll train you into the strongest jungle sprite ever! Then...
But like I was saying, I've talked to plenty of developers and him, and the Don, and they all tell me the same thing. They all say the same thing that he said. Yes, granted, games are gonna look better, yes, but there's going to be sacrifices. Would you rather have a game look really great and run on 30 frames per second, or have a game look like crap and run at 60 frames per second? I mean, me personally, would I prefer to play at 60? Yes, but I don't want my game to look like crap. I bought a 4K TV so it could look good. I bought all this stuff to make so that my games look great. So if that bothers anybody, then maybe don't watch any of my stuff.
The rhythm down to the core. Even with that summertime feel, heat up this stratosphere. Give them your full spec love. Make sure they know you're here. Oh yeah, now you got it. Okay.
And all these developers have also told me that those kind of things aren't going to go away.
Yes.
That 30 frames per second is pretty much here to stay for the most part.
Come on.
I don't see anything wrong with it as long as the game runs smoothly. If it's a smooth 30 frames per second on console, and it runs smooth and it looks good, I'm okay with it. If it's choppy like it was in Gotham Knights, then yeah, I have a problem with it. But you know, I played what's it called? I played Plague Tale Requiem. That looked fantastic at 30, and it played great at 30. Granted, yes, it plays better at 60, but it was playable. It was definitely playable, and as long as the games are playable, I think that's what should matter. If you're looking to have it be 60 all the time, you're gonna be disappointed. Sorry, but you are. And if you can't handle that, then maybe you should get out of gaming. Period. You know? And I would hate to see anybody have to do that and go, but that's on you.
All right.
You know? Dang, man.
Not bad.
Yeah, he's gonna beat the crap out of me. Oh man.
Not bad.
And I always hate to say that. You know, I always hate to say that. You know, if you don't like it, get out of gaming. And that's the problem. You know, it's not something I really want to say, but you're gonna continue you're just gonna continue to complain about it. You either accept it or you just continue to complain about it. And I've just accepted it. Especially since I've talked to so many people. And shoot, that's the thing. I've talked to so many different devs that just sit here and say, yeah, we don't well, for the most part we don't listen to the gamers anymore, really. That sucks, man. That sucks. Because they should be listening to us. And they don't, because you know why? We're a bunch of whining, crying little snot-nosed brats. That's what most of you guys sound like. When you're talking to some of these devs, you sound like a bunch of snot-nosed, crying baby, little snot rag having brats. That's what you sound like. Sorry, but that's what you sound like. To them. So they don't want to listen to you anymore. And I don't blame them. Because a lot of gamers have become very much like that. I want my games to be like this. I want them to be like that. Well, you can't have everything that you want. Sorry. But you know that song? You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need? Well, guess what? That's what's happening. So you either accept it or you don't. Period. And if you can't accept it, then get the heck out of gaming then. Find a different hobby.
Another lovely day.
Because things aren't going to be changing. At least not anytime soon.
Hey. However.
So.
Yes. However. By the way. Hey.
see if I can spar with her. She's probably gonna kick my butt too. Yeah, she's gonna kick my butt. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to do combos too.
Now you understand. Don't underestimate me.
Well, dang, Chun-Li. But that's just, you know, gonna be the nature of the business, man. Sorry, but that's just what I've been told. That's what I've been hearing. So I've just accepted it. You know, they just don't listen to you guys anymore. They used to listen to podcasts and stuff like that. They just stopped because it's always the same crap. If you want them to start listening to you again, stop making the same crap over and over again. There's truly no freaking point to it if you're making the same crap over and over again. It's always people fighting about the same thing. It's ridiculous.
Thank you.
It's crazy. It truly is crazy. Huh? Okay. So I can make... Okay, so you get new customization stuff. Electric Thunder. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. So I got Blanca's. And you know, I'd rather play games than deal with a lot of the stuff that's on Twitter. If you ever wonder why I'm like barely on Twitter, or you know, I don't really post much on Twitter or post much on social media in general, it's because of the crap that people spew. That's why. Because it's just a bunch of crap. And it's stupid. And I just want a game and have fun. That's it. I don't care about frame rates. I don't give a crap about, you know, as long as the game is good. I don't care about it. I don't care if the frames are at 30. Don't. As long as the game is good. That's all that matters to me. If the game isn't good, then it's a little harder for me to be like, okay, I recommend this game. Like Gotham Knights, it's hard for me to recommend that game because they didn't... That freaking game, it's fun, yes, don't get me wrong, it's fun. But there isn't much appeal to it if it doesn't have a, you know, a true, you know, smooth 30 frames, you know. It definitely dips. I don't know if they fixed it since I've played, but when I played it, it was definitely not a solid 30. I mean, if you could get a solid 30 out of a game, the game is still playable at that point, right? Like, as long as it doesn't dip, you're good. But the unfortunate thing is that some of those games dip. and so does, you know, Final Fantasy 16. Is it going to stop me from playing a game? No. It's going to stop me from recommending it to everyone, you know, because I think there's people going to be out there that are going to be like, I don't want to play the game at 30 or whatever. And that's why I wouldn't recommend it to them. But I think at the end of the day, and granted, Final Fantasy 16 is only a demo. It's only a demo. It's just a demo. Yes, granted, is it kind of a stuttery demo? Yes. But it's still a good game. It still has a good, you know, foundation to it. So far, from what I played and from the demo, it has its you know, it's good stuff for it. So I think some people are really kind of, you know, trying to throw it under the bus because it's PlayStation only game, you know. So you hear the fanboys sitting here saying, "Oh well, you know, it dips and stuff," and it's like, okay, well, you don't, you know, they're like, well, Starfield's gonna be a solid 30, so you don't know that. Like how many times do we have to tell people you do not know that? All you know is what you're told from the developers and stuff. You don't know that for sure. You can only go by what they're telling you. That's it. That's why you can't take that. I don't take anything that a developer says or that a company says to heart at all, because both companies, Microsoft and PlayStation, have said things in the past that didn't come to fruition. Period. Both of them. Not just one. Both have done that. So, you know, don't try to sit here on your high and mighty horse and think that you're all high and mighty because you know, because one game that you're going to get in September is going to be better than anything else that, quote unquote, has come out this year. I'm sorry, but I don't think, this is what I personally think. I do not think that Starfield is going to win Game of the Year. I don't think it will. I really don't. How do I land Super Arts though? How do I do Super Arts? Oh geez. That's a lot of...
Not quite there yet.
Yeah, because we haven't figured out how to do that, and we don't have any.
Let's just take it. You want something?
But it's just funny when I see people like that are just like, oh, our game's gonna be so much better because of this. And it's like, they're completely different games, dude. They're completely different games. Completely. Like, quit comparing Starfield to Final Fantasy 16. And that's on both sides. Quit comparing the two. They're not the same game. They're completely different. Like, I've been seeing that a lot lately. People trying to compare games that aren't even in the remote vicinity of the same game at all. Like, I mean, yes, maybe you could make an argument like that Starfield is kind of like No Man's Sky, but it's not, though. That's the thing. It's not. It's not. It's not the same game. So much more ambition is going into Starfield, at least from what I've seen. It looks more ambitious than No Man's Sky was. And it looks like it's going to be an actual polished game when it comes out. People forget that when No Man's Sky came out, it was like on its last, like almost not on its last leg, but it was critically panned by a lot of critics, being like, there's a game here, but it's nowhere to be found right now, you know. And I don't think
That's right.
I don't think Starfield's gonna have that same problem.
I see.
I truly don't. If they do, then I'll eat my words, you know, whatever. But I don't think that's going to have a problem. Now, I think Starfield's going to be good, but like I said, I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year. I think that's going to go to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And the only reason why I think that is because I feel like it's going to sell more. Period. But Starfield, I don't think Starfield's going to sell as well as Tears of the Kingdom. I think it'll sell decently, but I think most people will play it on Game Pass. And, you know, which doesn't count for sales of the game. Which actually, you know, I'll take that back. I don't know if it does, because sometimes they factor in, you know, engagement and stuff in a lot of sales and things like that. So it might, but I don't think it's gonna do the same numbers. You know, I don't think it's gonna do better, because it's a new IP, plain and simple. That's the only reason why I'm saying this, is because it's a new IP. Period. And new IPs tend to not, you know, garner a following right away. It takes them a little while to kind of get their bearings and get something going. And yeah, some of those games are just, they're gonna do well, some of them are not. You know, I think even if Starfield gets a great score, which I'm pretty sure it probably will, it's still not, it's gonna have a chance, yes, but it's just not gonna beat Zelda, you know. And I think there's going to be people who out there that are going to believe that Starfield's going to win because, you know, they're fanboys or whatever. But the harsh truth is that Nintendo's kind of the darling, you know. They're kind of like Disney. They're the darling, and people gravitate towards them. You know, if I would have said if Tears of the Kingdom didn't come out this year, it probably would have been Final Fantasy 16 or Spider-Man or maybe even Starfield. Starfield probably would have had a better chance. But with Tears of the Kingdom coming out, no, sorry, but I don't think it's gonna have a chance. Will it be nominated? Yeah. If it comes out and it's good, it'll be nominated. If it comes out and it's not good, then I don't know. You can wear a skirt too. That's funny. Got some leather pants, huh? Oh, they're more like jeans, huh? Let's buy this and put this on. Yes, granted, he looks goofy, but let's see if we can go and fight that guy again. I don't know, we might get our butt kicked, but let's see. And that's the thing, you know, I hope, you know, I really do hope that Starfield does a good job.
You're not passing through my turn.
I truly do. Because then it solidifies that, you know, Xbox can, you know, and it solidifies that Bethesda is, you know, back on its, you know, good graces with the gamers. Yes, granted, they've kind of, you know, they've won themselves back here and there.
Channel Eternity. We're here today in Metro City, everyone. Where the best rookie fighters have gathered at Mike Hagar Memorial Stadium.
I think we've already watched this, haven't we? Yeah, we've already watched it. We don't need to watch it again. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can beat this dude up.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Goes with the projectile to pressure the opponent. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Checks with the projectile. The impact gets blocked. The jump in catches them.
Dang, dude. This kid
Gets the jump in.
is ridiculous.
Can they turn things around here with a super arm? Life lead opens up. Drop KO.
I don't have the
Always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball
really good, you know, moves to take this dude on. I don't think.
Experiencing burnout. Shows the medium kick. Player 2 has the life lead. Can they use it?
Keeps doing that frickin' spinning kick, man.
They're trading attacks. Throws a fireball. Burnout activates. Player 1 has the deck stacked against them. Can they squeak sets up with the jump in? Closes it out.
I don't know. I'm just. I guess I'm just having a tough time trying to get this. But yeah, I think But I think, already this year we've had a great year. And some people will say, no, we didn't. Because they don't play many of the games that I played, And that sucks because they're missing out on a lot of things that are really good. But I think we've had a fantastic year. And it's going to be... I'm telling you, if we get some more games, the more games we're getting towards, September and October, whew, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Tough to see what game gets Game of the Year. There's some real stiff competition. I mean, there's some people already calling, Final Fantasy 16 and Starfield their Game of the Year. And I'm all like, it's not even out yet. Like, what are you guys doing? They're not even out yet. Hold your judgment until the games come out. For me so far this year, Tears of the Kingdom. Hands down. So far. Because I played it, beat it, was a fantastic game. When I finished it, I was saddened because I was like, dang. Don't have any more Zelda to play. And that got me. I was like, dang, dude. Don't have any more Zelda to play. Shoot. Well, this sucks, I guess I would have to do the spinning bird kick, huh? To get across.
Spinning bird kick.
Did he drop in the water? Probably. Oh no, I got it.
Spinning bird kick.
Oh, I gotta wait until I get some back in order to use some. This is a weird game, to be honest with you. But we did get some cutscenes today, stuff like that. I'm actually gonna probably end this a little earlier than I normally do. Only for the simple fact that I'm kind of it's getting warm in here in our room here, so and I don't want to. It's getting warmer out, so we might have shorter live streams, unfortunately, just because it is getting warmer out. But let's just, let's just end it here. It was a good, fun time talking to everybody, being back and everything. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter, Darkotimus, where you can find all my gaming shenanigans whenever I'm on there. Which isn't very often, but when I'm on there, that's where you'll see me post things for the streams, post things about my thoughts and stuff like that. So follow me there. I will see you guys back here Saturday night at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for some more Street Fighter 6. Have a good night, everyone.